Good evening, folks. I'm Smoking Joe, and this is Cracker Culture, the podcast for real Floridians. Today's podcast is mainly directed to the school system, things that are going on inside our school system. I'm dealing with Lee County. Before I get started, I want you to know our prayers go out to the people in Arlington, Texas, who just suffered a school shooting where I heard that at least one person was mortally wounded and there's several others injured. And we also want to thank the Lee County Sheriff's Department. Monday, our daughter, who attends 6 Mile Charter Academy, that school had 3 children who had planned to commit an arson. The Lee County Sheriff's Department acted swiftly, and nothing happened. Nobody was injured, and we thank you. That was very close to home. That affected us and the safety of our child. I planned on speaking at the Lee County School Board meeting yesterday, which would have been Tuesday, October 5th. Maybe it was divine intervention, but unavoidable circumstances prevented me from being able to attend. It was probably a good thing, with the speakers being limited to 1 minute. Who can possibly get any meaningful point across in 60 seconds? As I watched the meeting online, the stupidity was literally exhausting. At the start of the meeting, the school board representing council set forth rules and parameters as to what the speakers were allowed to say, what would not be allowed, from the manner, the tone, as well as the infliction on the comments they would not tolerate. This alone is a violation of our First Amendment by restricting one's viewpoints. I decided to share my viewpoint from my own dojo. Anything else seems pointless. Had I been present and allotted enough time to convey my 2 cents worth, my message would have went as follows. I'm addressing you as a father, an employer, and a Floridian. With the exception of the intern superintendent and council member Melissa Giovanelli, this council is a council of transplants and carpetbaggers. As a board governing our children, you have failed us all miserably. My wife, my children, and myself are all products of the Lee County school system. The academic decline under the current administration has reached below par achievement across the entire district. This is unacceptable, and our community will no longer tolerate the egregious waste of our tax dollars. I work in the agriculture industry, starting at 4 a.m. till sundown daily. Up until just over a year ago, my conversations consisted of spray schedules, rain levels, and who's got the best squash yield. I felt confident that my elected officials would feel duty bound to professionally handle things in a manner that aligned with my core values. The rude awakening of how far from what I believe and how I was raised, this morally destitute group of administrators of Lee County School Board has left me feeling physically ill. I will not pretend to have the leisure of spending countless years in the halls of higher education, nor incurring debts for student loans. I have no PhD, no MBA, and after what I've witnessed from the current seated administration, I'm damn glad of it. Like most Floridians, I went to school, then I went to work. Seems you have educated yourselves into ignorance and a lack of any hint of old-fashioned common sense. Stevie Wonder could see how out of touch with reality this board is from what the people want and deserve from your employment. You have forgotten who has placed your soft derrieres upon those pedestals in which you reign. To refresh your memory, it's the parents you're trying to silence at every meeting. I'm bewildered that each speaker feels the need to thank you for allowing them their 60 seconds of frustration. I, for one, have not an ounce of gratitude for your failures to this community. The majority of the parents came yesterday to express their dissatisfaction in board member Chris Petricka. I can assure you that not one person was satisfied with the handling of her continued misconduct and abuse of power. Petricka's attacks on local farmers should have been enough to make everyone ask what in the hell is her agenda. It has brought so many of us to the realization of how corrupt this board is. She has brought upon the district lawsuits in the tens of millions of dollars in which the plaintiffs will surely prevail. This is of no consequence to her. She will not be paying the incurred cost. We, the taxpayers, will. Everyone is aware of her habitual misuse of her office, so I see no need to revisit each asinine action she has shamelessly carried out. Her latest allegations of her belief that Hispanic children lack the knowledge of simple bathroom use is unacceptable. These are children of the people I work with. Do you think they appreciate her basically alluding them to being stupid? How could someone in this position ever think these comments are acceptable? I emailed Petricka. I demanded her immediate resignation. She has not replied. The infighting between the board members is humiliating. My 3-year-old and 5-year-old daughters are better trained. When Giovanelli made the motion to call for an investigation, District 1's Mary Fisher, who seems to never go away, said we need to let it go, move on. If it had been a student, you would have surely implemented some form of punishment. You have a zero tolerance for many student actions, but as a board member, just move on. I agree that most of you should move on. Move as far from our educational system as possible. The entire board acted like monkeys throwing poo at each other, making accusations against each other, showing they're clearly not fit to govern our dogs, let alone our children. This is not the desire of true Floridians. The underhanded deals and total lack of concern to the wishes of our communities will not be tolerated. Those actions may have been tolerated in New Jersey, Ms. Petricka, but us true Floridians will not allow it to continue here. This is a slap in the face to our grandparents and parents who helped to make our paradise wonderful. Speaking for myself and fellow like-minded natives, we demand Chris Petricka to tender her resignation immediately. If she so chooses to decline, I will spend my time addressing the old guard of Florida, whose families are the lifeblood of our existence. I will speak at every agriculture event and expo, every cattlemen's association function. I will contact every major landholder in the state, and you will be fortunate to earn gainful employment at a fast food establishment. You are everything Floridians are against. You have disturbed our culture, and we no longer welcome you here. It's clear there are several others on this board that are not worthy of conducting business on our behalf. I will assure you, after Petricka has been eliminated, we will review the others' actions. People of Florida, realistically look at this board. Would you be comfortable with them handling your property, holdings, or asset? If not, why are they governing our most valuable asset, our children? To the Hispanic community, whom I work with, do not let this go. We are here in support. We will stand with you to the bitter end. We have no room in Florida for the actions of said board member of District 3. Generational Floridians, we must remove this evasive nuisance from our homeland. I love you, Florida. We've got a job to do. God bless you all. We need to get out here and get behind the people who care about the community and eliminate those who are only here for self-benefit. That would have been what I would have said to the board. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make it. And I'm glad. I was so disturbed by the actions of this school board. And I tell you, I have raised children in this school system. They done well. I currently have young children in this school system. I'm concerned for their future. And you should be concerned for your children's future as well. This is not a time to sit back and let it go. It cannot go any further than what it already has. I did hear that there is somebody here in town that is reviewing Miss Patrica. I hope that every effort will be made to eliminate this nuisance. And with that, I'm going to pass on and tell you folks, I have a podcast coming out soon. It's going to be a multiple series. I can't get it all into one show. I'm interviewing a gentleman who has some pretty different opinions, claims, and accusations. The reason the show has been so long to get aired is I've had to vet everything he said and try to contact some of the people that he is accused. I do hope you'll join us for these shows. I know that usually I try to be a little humorous and funny in my stance, but there's nothing funny about what's going on in our community today. I am totally bewildered with everything that's going on and how it's got this far. We know how it's got this far. We trusted the wrong people. We can no longer do this. We got to hold people accountable. There's a few of these mothers that I have noticed that's been at every school board meeting. My hats are off to you ladies. You have done a tremendous job at keeping up the fight. We owe you a debt of gratitude, and the rest of us need to show up don't allow them to shut us up, because that's all they do. We have a right to be heard. We have a right to be seen. And we have a right that we get the benefit of our tax dollars spent the way we choose them to be spent. I do not want to participate with a government that does backhanded deals and shady quid pro quo like the actions going on in the Lee County School Board. I'm going to end this, and it's going to be short tonight, and I thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Follow me on YouTube at Smoking Joe Nation. You can also follow us on Facebook, Smoking Joe Nation page, and we also have a Cracker Culture page. Thank you for watching. I love you, Florida. God bless the rest of the United States, because we surely need it. Good night. Love, peace, and gator grease.